back. And if you haven't seen any of my videos, wait till the end. Click on the end screen videos or the ones I suggest in whatever corner. I'm gonna work on my Shovelhead again. Last video, put right here. I got it going. It's just chiefing out smoke like crazy. I got some things I think it might be, but I think it might be worse than I thought it was. I got my little handy dandy checklist here. Let's see, I need to tune the car, basically put it to stock because all the air fuel mixture and all that, who knows where it's at. So I just need to get back to zero with that. It's a S&S Super E knockoff. So as long as we can get in the ballpark, you know, that's better than probably where it's at. The seals from the carb to the manifold, when I put the carburetor on there, I kind of moved it around quite a bit, so it's definitely leaking air. Probably causing a little bit of an issue to try to get it to start. That could be part of it. The front exhaust kind of hangs where the exhaust goes into the head. You know, it's got a gap. So I just gotta try to clamp the pipe on. I got some brakes line to put in. I don't think it'll work because I think I need one of the banjo bolts to be a different size. And then the rest is pretty much just little stuff that I gotta do for the seat because I got another seat from 10 videos ago, and the new one, the sissy bar doesn't work, so I gotta take the sissy bar off. It'll run without a sissy bar, so I'll get to that when I get to it. Anyways, let's try to get this carburetor going. All right, here we are. This is a S&S Super E Chinesium knockoff. So who knows if it actually works or if it's worth a darn, but everyone's told me these are pretty decent. You know, this will get me until I get an actual one, until I get rich. But I'm gonna work my way from the front to the back, and let's do it. So I got the idle mixture screw right here, and you're supposed to do seated and then a turn and a quarter, I think. So let's try it. How far out is this thing? So far, it's way out. So I'd say that's seated. So then I go half a turn, another half, and about a quarter. Okay, that's that. All right, next we're gonna adjust the throttle cable. There's this one, the screw's back here, so it's gonna be kind of hard to get to. But I think you go, oh yeah, it's already a pain in the nuts. Counterclockwise to tighten it. Again, this is a knockoff, so things could be backwards. I was wrong with this. I thought you had to tighten it up, and it's backwards. Loosen all the way up till this plate doesn't move anymore. Tighten it back up till you see it start to move, and then go back and forth until you figure it out. And then once you figure out the screw's barely touching this thing, turn a half turn. And that should be idle right there. All right, let's move on. I think there's accelerator pump. Let's see what that one's all about. Okay, so accelerator pump, tighten it up. It doesn't have to be super tight, just till it seats. Yeah, these all seem way out of whack. And then 2 full turns, so 1, 2. All right, that's stock settings for this style carburetor. Now again, this is stock settings. Don't think that this is gonna be forever. This is just to get your bike at idle. Who knows if it's gonna idle horribly or perfect. I'm on the coast right at sea level, so you know I don't have to worry about those variants, but this will get my bike running at an idle, hopefully. So let's move on to the next thing. All right, now we're on the back side of the carburetor, different screwdriver. But these seals are the ones I gotta check. This is the one that's crooked on the other side. So I just gotta loosen it, walk it around, and get it sealed up good. when I put the carburetor on, the bolts on the bottom here and the top, I had to move the carburetor this way, and I think in turn I walked the seal out. Let me get in there with my old screwdriver. I can't film at the same time, but I'll give you the progress report. All right. After poking and prodding in there, that bracket that's going up and down there holding the carburetor on, I think when I put that on there, it pulled the carburetor out. I'm gonna go on the other side, pull the carburetor off, seat these bad boys back in, because that's what I'm more concerned about. If anything, I can make a stupid bracket. I just bought that on Lowbrow for 15 bucks or something. But I'd rather have these sealed. And I'm not gonna go that far with this bike. Hopefully that'll stay on there. The carburetor, that is. Shouldn't fly off, but we'll see what happens. Let me get to the other side. All right, so I got crazy, took the manifold off to see really what was going on. Wasn't much, just these style seal on there. But the seals were so far apart. So my next theory was maybe the heads aren't, I can't remember what it's called, but trying to see if this thing is flush with the heads, and they're actually pretty dialed. I don't see much daylight, so that's good. Yeah, that's a really good sign. So now I think I'm going to try to just put these back on here for a test fit, but the screws on here are really, I might wait till the morning to get new ones, but let me test fit this and we'll see what happens. All right, so I got the manifold on there. And now that I got it all pushed against the heads, it looks 100% better. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp those bad boys on there, and then I'm going to wait to get a screw though. And then I'm going to put this on there gently, and then try to figure out a way to get this clamped on there, because I think the bracket, this carb bracket, I might have to make both sides of these holes bigger so it has a little bit more leeway for it to slide up and down and move around or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out. All right, that's all I'm gonna do tonight. Once I need something, I kind of start pecking around doing other shit, and I gotta stop doing that. I got the manifold just sitting there. It needs a screw. I'm gonna do a little bit of research and try to figure out what manifold I have and if I can do anything differently, and just see if those ones are what I need. I'm sure they're perfectly fine. I just want to get everything square and figure it out. Otherwise, go to my web store. I got a bunch of goofy shit on there. I put some of my hometown, the name Arcata on shirts and beanies and stuff, and I got a Shovelhead and a Panhead beanie, so you can look tough outside of the bar on your Sportster. Head over to deathmetalcycles.com, get you some merch, get some of the old stuff. Got a lot of hats and beanies on there. Get our Fuck Arcata Transients t-shirt, because nobody likes transients on the plaza. Not be homeless and being derelicts. Get a job. All right, I'm back. It's morning time. Ended it last night. I was sleepy and grumpy probably. But I went to the Ace. Ace is the place. Got some screws, some bolts, whatever you want to call it, for this. And let me show you. So these bolts that were in here are all wallered out. I was gonna buy a new setup, but the rubbers look pretty good. And these look decent. They're kind of bent. I don't know if you can tell. Probably not. But I'm gonna run them. I'm not gonna spend any more money on this thing. Yeah, see the thread on that? See if I can get a light on it. Pretty chewed up. Let's get a new one on there. So yeah, here's the clamp. You see it, it's got a hole in the center here. It's got a little dowel or something in there you screw into. and then this swings down. You screw it in and it clamps it in like that. Boop. All right, let's get this on there. What I'm gonna do is get these prepped up, put these around the best I can. Nice, that was way more difficult than it had to be. It's always a good start. I still can't figure out what kind of manifold that is. I don't know if it's stock or S&S. It doesn't say anything on it, so I'm assuming it's aftermarket. All right, we're back on the other side. What I gotta do is just flip these screws over, see if I can get my paw in the way, and clamp them down. But I gotta use two hands because I gotta have one hand over the bike to hold the manifold, and one hand to put those on. So let me get to it. All right, after doing 100 times and putting these bands on different ways, I finally got it to where it's really tight on there and flush enough anyways. Let's try to get the carburetor on there and hopefully not moving around too much. So I think I figured out why the whole reason I've been fussing with this thing and why I'm here now. Let me show you. Okay, so I bought this bracket because I'm not gonna have a big cover on it and it's not gonna be held by the top of the motor. So I bought this cheap bracket to put right here, and the carburetor bolts right into it. Well, when I was doing this, none of this stuff was lining up. It kept like, I couldn't get this bolt in, I couldn't get this bolt in, and it took me forever, and that's how I started all this, is this thing kind of walked out. And then this side was really bad, like really loose. So now that I'm going slow and making sure I got everything right, I've noticed that these holes don't line up. And that's because the top of this is smashing into the back of this, causing this hole to be a little bit lower. So what I think I'm gonna have to do is take the manifold off and then grind a little bit out. Obviously this is too thin. I would have just ground this off or moved this hole up or down, but it's just barely there. So instead of fussing with everything and going back to where I was at, I think I'm just gonna take this off real quick, shave it down, put it back, and at least it'll be secure and strong. I won't have to worry about it. Dang it. All right, after further investigation, that's fine. I thought it'd be tighter, but look, it's got a lot of play. No grinding necessary, and I might have had this thing backwards too. I might have put it upside down or something. So instead of grinding this thing, I'm just gonna leave it, because I think that's good enough. I'll probably regret that, but let's put it back. All right, it's on there, solid as a rock. The rubbers are good, good enough. I'm happy with it. Everything fits. All right, final thought. Let's see, go slow, intake seals suck, and buy a real carburetor and real parts. But anyways, I got them all dialed in. Hopefully that fixes it. I read all over the internet, and even old Google or whatever told me that if there's intake seal leaks, it causes the top end to have like an air issue and suck oil through things. So hopefully that's it, because it's spraying oil through the exhaust side, causing it to shoot white smoke out everywhere. So I don't know, we'll figure it out. I'm gonna try to go fire it up once the rain stops later. So anyways, long enough video. See you in the next one.